Hello, everyone. This is Brian Glanz with GitLab. Today from beautiful Honolulu. Welcome to episode 6 of Crack the Code, a series presented by DevOps Live in partnership with GitLab. Today's topic is transitioning from DevOps to SRE. Fortunately for us, we have with us today a brilliant subject matter expert and industry leader. We are joined by Xavier Murias, who was an early adopter of DevOps and SRE practices. Xavier was previously the VP of Reliability Engineering at DBS Bank and is now heading up DevOps and SRE for Prudential there in Singapore. Welcome, Xavier.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Great to have a conversation today. And for me, I was a developer for many years and then consulted in the area of from the DevOps side of this. And for me, I always think about that great Venn diagram in the sky, and SRE and DevOps, for me mentally, they overlap so much. I even think of SRE as an implementation of DevOps, not really that they're different, but please, you tell me, are they different? And if so, what are the differences?
Yes, Brian. I like that statement, right? So SRE implements DevOps, right? So the thing here is that are not same, obviously, but they are very much alike. One of the points, I guess, is that they use similar tools, right? So infrastructure as a code, pipeline, automation is just core, right? So I think that if this was a car shop, they will be just fixing cars, different parts of it. So they will be sharing tools, right? So that's actually how it happens, right? They share a big amount of the tools and ecosystem, right? And the ways that things are being approached are very much similar, right? I guess that the one biggest difference is the emphasis on reliability, right? Scalability, observability, right? And that takes us to actually the first point, right? So to produce reliability, I guess you need first the implementation, a solid implementation of observability, right? So whenever things goes south and something is broke, if you don't know what, then there is no reliability behind it, right? I guess there is like a lot of faith on I guess this will fix it, right? So so that will be the first start, right? So DevOps will do emphasis on building and deployments, right? But once it's roll out, is just depends, I guess, their implementation. It will be handled mostly by the application teams, right? A baton model approach of DevOps, right? Or maybe to a more traditional model of just hand it to operations, right? So they will not probably make so much emphasis on monitoring. Now with all these new approaches of DevSecOps, they might be doing a little bit emphasis on security, right? But we don't have DevSecMonOps or anything like that, right? So I think that will be the first thing that your transformation will need, right?
So, I almost feel like SRE is, in some ways, it's like DevOps done right. It's like done more completely, right? Because you really should have monitoring on your roadmap if you're thinking about doing DevOps right. You really, I don't think of it as different. I think maybe as a different focus.
Well, the question is, when DevOps, when you do a hiring on DevOps, are you expecting the candidate to knows Prometheus, Grafana, Influx? I just don't usually see that requirement, as a DevOps. I see more like, a software engineer, Jenkins, TeamCity, pipelining, right? Maybe Terraform, right? So I think that the profile is different. I do believe that people who is qualified and doing DevOps today can get up to speed into SRE, right? And I think that yes, you can, and it should be, from my perspective, it is the best approach to get SRE done, right? Let DevOps implement and evolve into SREs.
Okay, I really want to make sure I understand this this difference from you. And would you say that it's accurate within SRE in general to look at operations as a software problem?
Oh yes, definitively, because operations can be solved through software, through software improvements, right? So, and usually, definitively, software engineering approach to solve them, right? So that takes us to a more advanced SREs, which I guess is today is paperwork, right? Operations as a code. So we won't be talking about that today, right? But I think that the implementation of it, it uses, yes, you can solve, definitively you can solve operation issues with software engineering approach. I mean, coding, automation, it's just like that, right? I think that one mistake for SREs, and I think this happens, I guess it's caused by business pressure, requirements, the timelines, is fixing software problems by SRE software engineering force. and then the software problem doesn't get fixed because SREs already made magic, automated remediation, right? So it doesn't get fixed. So I usually put some strict deadlines and timelines whenever we automate a remediation, right? Okay. To the root cause be fixed. Otherwise, it doesn't get, because from the dashboards, the problem disappeared. So the problem is not there. It doesn't exist, right? So,
well, this okay, you're making me think in terms of like, what would you have in terms of milestones, maybe, or expressed however you like, for a roadmap that actually gets you to SRE if you're starting from DevOps?
Can you reformulate that?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, well, we want to talk about the transition from DevOps to SRE, and it's more like, what are the big steps along the way, and how you get there? Like, what if I wanted to sketch it out? You know, sometime in calendar 2021, I want all my DevOps teams to be steeped in SRE. How are they going to get there from you?
Okay, let's start with how you won't get there. Okay, so let's imagine a big structure, a very old, solid company, right? Call it X, bank X, company Z, whatever, right? And then you wanna do you have DevOps, right? It took you time, but finally you got there. There you have the benefit, right? And I think it's visible, right? We are building faster, we are deploying faster. I'm not saying that everything end-to-end has been automated. Mostly for companies like Prudential, financial institutions, there are regulatories, there's still paperwork, right? But DevOps has simplified most of it, right? So now you don't need to worry about many things that you used to do before, right? Pipelines will lift the heavy work, so coders can code, platform owners can do the paperwork, right? And that's tangible, right? So an organization that has already passed through that knows the benefits of automation, right? And on a mature model, they do know that automations can follow processes and security standards, right? No matter which kind of industry you are, right? So let's say that DevOps have already a reputation within your organization. If not, then it's going to be difficult, right? It's going to be challenging because it's going to be, everything is going to be new. And one of the challenges is it comes from, let's say that this company just have a successful DevOps, and then they come and bring a new team, SREs. And it doesn't matter, it is ex Google, ex Facebook, even if he invented SRE by himself, right? It doesn't matter. Because here, you are nobody. Nobody knows you. You have no reputation. Yes, your background is impressive. Nice.
Yeah.
But how you going to get governance over processes? So let's see this approach, right? Hi, I am the new guy from the new team. I'm coming to take some of the work that you're doing. Sorry, I think that I can do it better. I just joined it. So what you're gonna do? You're gonna go, yeah, here, I give it to you. Just come and show everyone how I wasn't able to do my job properly before, right? Which is not the message, right? So it takes us to that was how you don't do it, right? So how you will do it, right? You get your DevOps team, and then they are successful. They are champions of your organization. They help so many people to go fast, right? Speed to market is a solid win, right? And then they come and say, "Hey, man, it's me. We thinking that we are gonna start doing this, right? We think that we can fix this and we can make it faster. Let's take it up from there." And then you say, the other counterpart is like, "Hey, oh, I'm very, very happy, man, because we've been struggling on this other thing for a long time, and we know that you can do things that, from our perspective, is magic, right? So here it is, right? And I think it takes us to what I call the Star Wars effect, right? So it is it doesn't matter. They have 9 movies. I will want the next 3 more, right? So when you watch a good movie, you just want the second part, right? So the second part of the nice DevOps movie is SREs, right? So this confidence, this trust inside the organization is the most important part, right? The cooperation and that the other teams, operations teams, are willing to give you some of their slices of their cakes, right? So and share it with you, and that confidence, right? And it doesn't mean that you will be actually getting boom, I fixed it, I did it better in record time. Maybe you will just go and try it, and it wasn't perfect. It doesn't matter, because mistake is just a natural, is part of the human condition, right? So you won't be judged. But then if you are new, you do something, and then you screw it. Your reputation is just broken. It's just SRE means stash it, right? So it's just, you cannot, right? So it's very difficult. It's very challenging to just get that model and just encrust it here. And from today, everything is going to be like that. And that's how the companies that are trying to do it are failing, right? Are just bringing this. So you get your DevOps.
Yeah. I think the cultural challenge is really common, and DevOps doesn't necessarily take care of all of it, but anyone helping you out in advance is valuable. Well, and when you are communicating better internally, you're happier there. Yeah. I think that contributes at least as much as the snacks. Oh, yeah. And if you're a dev, like when you're shipping more often, you're happier. Like I think SRE and DevOps both feed into employee happiness in really important ways.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously playing automation and getting rid of toiling and and reducing outages, right? I mean, it makes everyone happy. So you see less people, less fire. So it's just obviously better, right? I think that people just loves automation, and I personally love it. I love to build it, right? I like to see those kind of puzzles being solved. It's like if you get imagine one thing, huh? You have a Lego, and then yes, you like to build it, but the Lego also have one function, which is you press a button and then you see this how the Lego starts to build piece by itself, like a castle. It's just I see many of those videos on YouTube are so satisfying, right? So I think that it's just amazing, and automation brings that satisfying factor of seeing things getting done. We all love robotics. We all love just these kind of crazy things. It's just amazing, right? And I think that was I've been always Unix a Unix guy, right? And I early adopted DevOps and professionally got involved into that, right? And automation in the early stages, right? Is because of that, right? This satisfying effect, and yeah.
No, absolutely. And actually, that brings me to a question I was thinking of in terms of the technology piece. I mean, tech, I guess the tooling can help to drive culture change, can help not just in the implementation, but actually to get you all the way to DevOps or to SRE. I mean, what role do you see in technology playing there? And if I can ask one other twist on the question as well, I'm very familiar with a lot of DevOps software. I don't want to insert a commercial for GitLab here, but we, in targeting DevOps, I think hit a lot of targets in SRE. Like we have a monitoring stage in our product. You know, our SREs for GitLab.com, our SaaS version, are able to dog food a lot of what we are building in the name of a DevOps platform, but also then our devs are able to shadow our SREs and learn from their day in the life kind of experience. And I think that might be the case for a lot of tooling that says it's DevOps tooling, but also it's SRE tooling. And what do you think about that? Yeah.
Is that you already say it? Is that in the car shop? People is sharing tools, and the tools are similar, right? But sure. I think that making here look at this. Is not marketing, right? But the number one tool for SREs is GitOps. That approach. So it's just natural. So that's why I make the emphasis. Successful transformation DevOps into SRE is run, owned, and made by DevOps, right? And is there tool set? Yes, you will have some new tools, right? Probably you have them already, but then you will start to work much more with them. You will start implement governance into them, right? So you are implementing security governance, right, within your pipeline, right? The next step is just definitively natural monitoring. So it will take us to the DevSecMon Ops or whatever it is, OpsMon, DevMonSecOps, or whatever. But it will come, it will be natural. And the next evolution is no DevOps, no SRE, no security, IT gods or something that runs all these full stack. And if you think about this from the engineering perspective, it is already happening. SREs, DevOps are like superheroes of your organization. We solve the problem in ways. We solve it forever, right? And if it is not solved forever today, we build a plan, and the way that we produce postmortems and the incident management process itself, where it says, and is made by SREs, is we found this problem, but now you're gonna fix it, and then you have 30 days to fix it, right? Or your release management, will block it. So your release capacity is being affected by the post-mortem's actions, right? So it's just totally natural, right? So it takes us to another element which is very important, right? So we talked before about the observability. The next is the incident management and release management, right? So DevOps has been taking care and had a role into the release management process, right? Where we say just builds, goes into production, gates, governance over how actually an artifact is being produced and how this artifact does arrive into production, right? So the next step is SREs taking a governance enforcement role into that, in together with the incident management, right? So yes, your pipes builds, and yes, app crashes, and yes, SREs will fix that, but then governing the release management process as well is what allows SREs to enforce post-mortem actions. Because otherwise, look, if I go and tell you, please fix this problem, you might fix it, or you might not. But what it really works is fix this problem, 30 days, or no more releases. And it's unfortunate, right, to have this approach, but it's effective.
But that would do it. Yeah.
That will do it. That trust me, that improves resilience. And you will feel like, oh, it sounds like quite hard, right? This approach is just error budget. Is the pre-error budget implementation, because error budget will do the same. You broke SLA, now you have to fix it. So the post-mortem, post-action, and the release management is your first step before error budget implementation. Otherwise, you implement a machine that from today, you break, you don't release. People is like, wow, without even advice. What I tell to business, right? So you start with that kind of model where, okay, you're gonna have time, okay? So you don't say, what I usually do is the next release you can do it, but there is no second, right? So and then you give reasonable times, right? So you start this education process where actions have consequences, right? From incidents perspective, right? And that where there is actually a big cumulus where everything is getting together. Outage might affect your capability of releasing, right? If you don't take actions, right? So once you have educated this, everyone understand that bad software practices, which leads into outages or similar disasters, affects your capacity for producing and releasing new software into production. When they just know it is natural, it's just the post-mortem is the ABC of how things happens, right? And everyone accepts that, then I think that you are ready for a more computerized approach of the error budget, right? Which is mostly automated through telemetry, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really essential moment. Okay, Xavier, I feel like maybe we cracked the code.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think we really did get to the heart of some of the differences between DevOps and SRE, but also that value in transitioning specifically from DevOps to SRE. If SRE is where you want to get, I feel it. I think he sold me. I believe it.
Really? Thank you.
I believe it now. I'm a believer. But But thank you so very much. This has been really educational. And I think especially for everyone coming to Crack the Code, it's billed as a DevOps Transformation Series. Of course, it's presented by DevOps Live. Maybe people came here not knowing the whole of what's inside of SRE, and they ought to know a whole lot more about it now. So thank you so very much. It's been a great conversation.
Oh, same. I enjoyed it so much. And I hope that my words and this session can help all those companies that are trying it, right? And those ones, and a message for those ones who fail it, take a look to the video again and look at what you did wrong, because I did it right a couple of times already. And it's just in a natural way. It happens. Do not force it, but do it right. Try it right.
Great closing message. Thank you everyone for watching as well. And there's more coming in Crack the Code, presented by DevOps Live and in partnership with GitLab.